Good morning, students. Welcome back to the next session of Artificial Intelligence. Well, today we are going to start a new concept, a new unit of artificial intelligence. So, up to now, whatever we have discussed are what the basics of artificial intelligence. We have seen what is an agent refers to. We have seen what is how the agent works here. That means we have seen the overall structure of agents, but we haven't seen it that how the agent receives information, process information, and act upon the given information. So the next thing what we are discussing in this unit is regarding uh, knowledge based agents. Okay, so this knowledge based agents basically perform the same task of retrieving information from the environment. As I already mentioned that the agent will take the information from environment and through sensors, and as it receives the information through sensors, it will act through actuators. That means it will perform the actions. But how and what the decision has to be taken will we haven't seen such kind of discussion as of now. So for example, like if I'm taking here as an agent, this is my agent. Now here is my environment. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking information from environment, okay, through sensors. That means I used to perform percepts information from environment, isn't it or not? And the actions, okay, and again uh, this is here it is taking, right? So you have to take in the arrow direction towards agent. Now here it performs actions. So this is how the role of an agent. But what kind of information it takes, how agent will perform the operations, and the result of this, how it will generate as an actions, and these actions will be given back to environment. So this requires a kind of an information. Okay, so this information, okay, we need to learn in this unit. For example, one car is there, okay, an automated car is there. If a car is moving from point A to point B, right? Now which environment the automated car have? Partial environment. Which environment it have? Partial environment. Why? Because at one particular amount of time the environment it doesn't have a complete picture of environment, so that's why it is partial environment or partial observable environment. So what is going to happen here is, now the car, what to do, how to perform the operations. That means the car has to move from this location to this location, but in order to move from one location to another location, there are certain rules that has to be adapted by that car, following which the car can reach to another location B. So this rule, or you can say as a set of information, okay, a set of information is required by a car in order to reach from one location to another location. What is going to happen is, at location A, it percepts what? The sensor, it percepts the information. It percepts the information, but among the given set of rules, which information should be car get selected in order to move from, in order to start driving from the location A. And at particular, suppose if the car is at this location and if there is any untoward condition happens at the time, what the car has to decide, select a particular information. So this kind of information, for example, if the car is moving from one location to another location, whenever if there is a traffic, the speed should be get decreases. How the car knows that the speed should be get decreases? Through the information which the car has have, based on that information only the car speed should be get reduces. And how the car knows that the car can drive to a maximum limit of speed from one particular location if there is no traffic. What happens, when suddenly one person comes in front of the car, so whenever if such incident happens, so the car should have an idea, because here what we are doing here is the agent we are making as an intelligent agent. Okay, that means the car should be in a position to decide at particular instance what sort of actions to be taken in order to control such kind of situations which can arise at any moment of time from either from location A to location B. So this kind of information what the car has to obey, how the car knows that the car has to stop at some particular amount of time and at some particular amount of at particular destination or at particular place by the set of information. That means having set of information is called as knowledge. Okay, what you can call as knowledge. So this knowledge of operating this kind of knowledge should be obeyed by or should be taken by the car, so that the car can move from a location A to location B. Not only to the car, any example, either if you take hardware agents or software agents, whatever the machines which behaves in an AI based techniques, which adopts AI based techniques or AI based mechanism, has some set of all information. A set of information, it means you can consider as knowledge. So this knowledge will be stored in where? In knowledge base. So this knowledge base is what? The set of complete information that should exhibit or that should provides the information to the car so as to reach from one location to another location. So such agents which behaves in this way, and that the agent has to behave in this way, so that's why they are termed as KBA. What you can call as KBA as knowledge based agents. The agents which have an information of knowledge, that means the rules are the instructions that has to be followed by an agent, okay, that has to be followed by an agent in order to achieve the task, the desired task. And the knowledge, it should be relevant to the purpose of the agent. For example, car, what is the purpose of car? To move or to drive from one location to another location. So whatever the related information which have that kind of information, only this knowledge base should have. Okay, then only the purpose will be achieved, or else the purpose won't achieved. So that is the reason why the knowledge based agents are important here. Okay, so as of now, till now, what we have seen is just we are seeing that how an agent, just we seen that agents will take information as an input through percepts and it perceives the information through sensors, and it gives what? An action. As a result, the outcome of the agent is an action which be given to the back to the environment itself. But now how this agent will take, what kind of information it will take, how the mechanism will happens, that we have to see in this part. So that the unit 2 basically deals on knowledge based agents and agents. And here the knowledge is just not only the set of rules, it means it also includes logics that has to be performed by an agent in order to obtain what? In order to obtain the desired result. Okay, so that is the reason, like, so what this knowledge, how the knowledge will be represented in an agent. What the techniques for this knowledge representation are the logics. Okay, so this logics will be used here. Okay, and in that again we can see some other logics also, right? So such as we can see first order logic. Anyhow, we'll be seeing that first order logic and other logics as well. So all of these logics will be studying in this unit only. So first, before starting the actual concept, I'm just explaining that what this unit contains. Okay, so this unit basically contains about the techniques by which you can implement knowledge representation. How can you present knowledge? What are the techniques which can be used? So it can be used through logics. That means if there are multiple options are there, okay, now the agent has to decide which is good among the given option in order to increase in order to increase its efficiency. So that can be decided by using some of the logics. So this is what the techniques by which you can implement any of the knowledge. Knowledge means group of information. Apart from logic, you can also use if-then clause. What is this if-then clause? For example, if any particular condition arises, then what sort of actions should we need to perform? An example, if I say in automated car, suddenly if a person comes in front of car, then the car has to apply brakes. Okay, these are what the some other conditions which can happen, right? Okay, because machine doesn't understand what we have in intelligence. So we need to make the machine to be in a way that how we as a human driver behaves in a way while driving a car. So if this is just an example I said you, like if a person suddenly comes in front of a car, or any apart from any human being, if anything is there which comes in front of a car, then the car has to apply a brakes. So this is just one of one of the type of technique which you can use for knowledge representations. Okay, so this is all the thing. Next, what is the another thing is that you can use also semantic web. Okay, so all these are the concepts which are there for your unit 2. Semantic webs are also there, that I'll discuss in detail, that how this semantic web means is like a graph, how it forms, okay, which gives a valid meaning to the given path which has been selected over here, and which gives you an efficient path. I mean, so that is also there. And apart from that, we also have frames. Okay, so this frames also one kind of technique which should be adopted by the knowledge based agents. I mean knowledge based representation. So all of this we will be studying in the part of unit 2. Okay, so this is just to understand that I have just introduced you that what we are going to learn now. Now this is something which I have said you, okay, regarding how the techniques can be implemented. Then I have said you the basics, that what is about knowledge based representations. So now we'll see again So knowledge based agents means that if you understand this definition, you will get an idea here. If you just concentrate to the first point, what this point says that the agents which have an explicit representation of knowledge, okay, so that if we have a representation of knowledge, then such agents are called as knowledge based agents. That means I said you that I have given you an example here as a sense of an automated car, okay. Now what is the second point is very interesting here. The second point says that from the existing information, if we get new information, for example, like if I said you that if suddenly a human being comes here in front of the car, then the car should apply the brakes, right? But because of that situation, because of such patterns, what the agent thinks that if anything's come in front of the car, okay, suddenly, then the car applies that brake for that in that condition also. That means learning the things from the existing knowledge. Existing knowledge is that if a human being comes, then the car should apply the brake. But now learning new thing means even if it is not a human being, if other than that, if anything comes over in front of the car suddenly, then the car should apply the brake, okay, while driving I mean. So what is that? That means you are making the agents to learn. How? By providing such kind of patterns, so that patterns will let the agents knows that we need to take out a new thing from the given thing, and this part will be did by inference engine. Who will do this? Inference engine will do this task. Very important point. So now if you see knowledge based agents, what they are, it's like we are including a knowledge base, okay. If you see the first point here, what this knowledge base includes, that it contains knowledge base and an inference system, that is inference engine. Now if I just represent as an architecture of knowledge base, then how it will be represented as, for example, I just consider this as an environment, okay. In this environment, what is going to happen here is, now this is my agent, okay, which is a knowledge based agent, right? Now what this knowledge based agents contain means, first it takes the information, it percepts from environment, right? It percepts the input from environment, and now here it contains inference engine. So knowledge based agents contain two things. The first thing is your inference engine, and the second thing is what? Knowledge base. Okay, so this is my knowledge base and this is my inference engine. So what is going to happen here is, it takes the input from the environment, okay. Then what is going to happen here is, this knowledge base, what it contains the information, it contains a set of instructions, okay. Based on the input, the inference engine will ask, okay, first it will intimate to the knowledge base that it gives knowledge base that so and so things has been percepted. So based on the available information, the knowledge base will give back what kind of action should we need to perform in order to give back, in order to generate an action. Okay, so that means this knowledge base contain existing information. What it contains? Existing information. Existing information, for example, if I said the example of car, an automated car, the rules are the set of instructions what the car has to perform in order to drive from location A to B will be provided by knowledge base only. So whenever it receives an action, whenever it receives an input, okay, through sensors, so it goes to inference engine, and the inference engine will take the information from knowledge base, which is existing information, means predefined rules. What are those? These are predefined rules. Now what happens, again it gives back to inference engine and it gives as an output. It gives as an output. But what is going to output means in terms of actions. Okay, output means in terms of actions it will give. But the thing is that here is what I said about inference engine means learning new things from the existing thing. Okay, inference engine means learning new things, are getting new conditions from the existing conditions. Like I said you an example of the condition if then, right? What that if then says that we have taken a standard format for human being, but it applies to, if it is applies to anyone else, then you are inferencing the thing here. So because of this inference engine, the knowledge base will be updated. Okay, so here UKB means updating knowledge base, and this knowledge base will be updated. Okay, so updating knowledge, so knowledge base will be updated with new conditions based on what? Inference engine. So this inference engine will give you derived rules, I mean like derived information, which is not existing one, which is derived one. So this is how the architecture which it behaves in the way, and this output you can also calls to be where? Output to the environment, back to environment only. Okay, so in this way, this is the architecture for KBA, knowledge base agents. What the architecture of knowledge base agents contain here is, it contains an environment from where the input will be taken by knowledge base agents. Now knowledge base agents, what happens here is, it will take the information from environment and it tells to the knowledge base that so and so instructions are so and so percepts are so and so input I have received from environment, and the knowledge base will search the desired information which it requires by knowledge base agents. And again what happened, this knowledge base will give you back to the inference engine, and this inference engine will give as an output. For example, if any instruction which is not there in the knowledge base, then inference engine will take out a derived information, and that derived information will be updating by updating knowledge base. So this UKB stands for updating knowledge base, means knowledge base will be updated here again, which is derived information, which was not earlier as an information, which was not earlier as a instruction, but it was derived from the existing one. So this is the role of inference engine. Again what happens, it will updates and again it goes to inference engine through which it gives as an action. So in this way the input is your percepts and the output is what? Your actions. So this is how the knowledge base agents works. Now, what I said, the same thing I said you, the knowledge base is what a set of representation of facts of the world. Facts of the world means, see here, world doesn't mean that we have to include complete information of all of the agents. We have to focus on the agent for what it is designed for. For example, like I said, automated car. So whatever the facts which are required for an automated car in order to drive or in order to perform any kind of operation on that car, we have to collect such kind of information, and that collection of information is your knowledge base. So it can be facts of the world means it can be of any agent. So that is the reason why it has been represented as facts of the world. And every representation, every instruction is called as a sentence. That means a knowledge base you can say as a group of sentence. What you can say as a knowledge base you can say as a group of sentence. If you refer this second and third point. So knowledge base means it represents a group of sentence, and this sentence are expressed in which language? Knowledge representation language. So this knowledge representation language, how it performs through logics, which I already mentioned previously, that what the logics we are using, right? So any of the logics we can use here, so that will be represented through knowledge representation language. That means the sentences, the knowledge base should be expressed in this language. Now, as I said you that what agent performs, first the first is it performs tells operation. It tells the knowledge base. KBA means knowledge base agents tells the knowledge base that what it perceives, which I already explained just now through a diagram. Now, it tells what it intimates. Now, again it asks knowledge base that upon the given input what I received, what action I should perform, or the knowledge base agent should perform, which is best in order to achieve the task. Now, after selecting the particular action, the third point is what? It performs the chosen action, which the action which has given by knowledge base, it performs the particular action, and ultimately you will get an action here. So in that way it performs. So that this is how the cycle which it behaves in the way. Now that's why you can say in knowledge base agents we have an architecture which I explained, in that you can consider as a three part: knowledge level, logical level, and implementation level. Knowledge level means here what it means that just as an information which is an abstract level, okay, without implementing, just we have a knowledge. That is how we are concentrating on abstract level of knowledge. That means it describes that what it knows, okay. That means knowledge base is what? The set of rules or set of information. So that will be provided by a level called knowledge level. An example it has already been given. For example, a taxi agent, a car knows that if that XYZ is a bridge, for example, a bridge name is XYZ, the car knows that this bridge can connect A location with B location, okay. Just having an information of what is there and how it is not performing, that what it performs, that if you reach from one location to another, how it performs. So that is why it is called as knowledge level. Now, logical level. Now, what kind of logic the agent should apply in order to achieve the task? That's why this term is called as logical level. What do you mean by this? The level at which the knowledge is encoded into sentences. Sentences means, as I said you just now, sentence is what? Here, the knowledge base, okay. Sentences, group of sentences is your knowledge base. So that's sentences. So now they have framed one sentence. What is action? What action they need to perform? Link. Link of what? A bridge which is XYZ. That bridge has to get connected between two locations A and B. This is the logical. That means applying the logics here. Applying the logics in order to achieve the task. Now finally, if you go with the next level, that is the third level, which is implementation level. In implementation level, the same logical level whatever we have taken here, it will be get implemented. That means it practically performs over here. The first thing is that having information, the second is that deciding the logic, the selection of logic, and third is the execution part. Using that logic, if you implement this, that means is your implementation level. So here that bridge has been, this linking bridge which is XYZ has linked to A and B and they have performed the task. So that's why architecture contains 3 levels. Okay. Now as I said you already while explaining this knowledge base, I said inference engine. This is inference engine I said, and this is a knowledge base I said. So same 2 parts here it is there. Inference engine means independent algorithms. That means it is not depend on any other thing. Okay. Why it is independent? Because it is deriving the new case. If you see here, it is derived information, means it is not dependent, it is not predefined. So that's why you can call as an independent algorithms. Okay, in this part. But here specific content means which are predefined. Knowledge base means predefined. That's why specific content will be provided for the particular agent. Based on this content only, the algorithm which is in independent nature will decides that what further new actions will be taken. Okay, so that's why you can call as this as domain independent. The algorithm which satisfies is domain independent, and this is domain specific. Domain specific, why? Because knowledge of automated car is required here, but here it is dependent on the existing knowledge, but it is not depend on the domain. That's why it is independent on the domain. Domain means what kind of information car requires will not be dependent by this inference engine. So that's why I said you knowledge base here means a set of sentence. Okay. Declarative approach, it tells, declaring means telling what to do, what it needs to know. Asking, the operations which I said you, right, tell, ask. Okay. So agents which can be viewed at knowledge level, that knowledge level here means how can be viewed means that means like what they know, what kind of information know, and this knowledge level agents, in this knowledge level the agents will not provide the information that how it will be implemented. So implementation part will not be discussed because this knowledge level, as I said just now, that it is abstract level. What is this? Is an abstract level. Okay, and if we go at the implementation level, then it can perform the task. Okay, and anything whatever it is there will be performed on the knowledge base. So like the data structures which are provided, that how the data can be arranged here, how so that it needs to perform the task will be discussed in this level. Now again, what if there is a simple function I have already mentioned with the process here. For example, I am taking a function which is KB agent, means knowledge base agents, which percepts from environment, which percept means it takes input from environment and it returns an action again to environment itself. Okay, this is the input, this is an output. Now static, what it is that what it doesn't change is knowledge base doesn't get changed, so it is in static mode. And what we are doing, this is the second thing here which is not static here, is we are taking variable t, we are taking a counter variable, and initially we indicated as value as 0 because initially at the starting we taken the value as 0. Now what operation, first operation it perform as tell operation. Now knowledge based agents will tell to whom? The first argument is to tell to knowledge base what that to make percept sentence. That means it tells that so and so input has been received through environment. So that's why it percepts, okay, it percepts the sentence. That means whatever the percept sentence is there, it will provide, it will tell to whom? Knowledge base. By whom? Knowledge base agents. This one which I said you, in this one. Now this part, what is that? Knowledge base agents. Here, if you go refer to the first part, it tells the knowledge base that what it perceives. So this is the first part which I said. It tells the knowledge base agent will tell to knowledge base that what information the knowledge based agents receives. Now the second is what? Second operation is asking. Now knowledge base agents will ask to knowledge base that what action is best suited in order to perform, in order to generate what action, which ultimately results in an action, because the output what I said is what we are receiving as an action. Upon a given query, for the given query, what action is best suited for the given query. And who will ask? Knowledge base agents will ask to knowledge base that select an appropriate action. And what happens if you go to the third step here? It performs the chosen action, selected action. Now what happens after selecting the action? Knowledge base agent will tells to knowledge base that so and so action has been selected. For this is an action which is selected for the given query T. Okay, so it tells again, knowledge base agents will tell to knowledge base that particular action has been selected. Now initially T value was, we have taken as 0, but now T has incremented by 1. It says that you have performed, and it can be performed for multiple times until there are no input which is left over, and finally it returns an action. Okay, it returns an action. So this is how a knowledge base agent works. Now if I say the agent must, what it should perform, the agent should represent states or actions. Then it incorporates new percepts. New percepts means here through inference engine. Through inference engine it takes new information and it updates internal representation of the world. How it is updating? Through inference engine. It reduce hidden properties of the world and it deduce appropriate action. So all of this task has to be performed by knowledge base agent. Okay, so the next here is, the next is Wumpus world environment. This is an example. Actually this is what a computer game. So before going to this, I'll just explain you here. For example, here, in order to understand that what is the importance of knowledge base and how it works, we have taken an example here which is called as Wumpus world. So what this Wumpus world and how it works, we'll see now. You can consider like is a game. For example, in a cave, okay, in a cave, what happens here is there are 16 rooms are available. Okay, and here what is the goal here is you can visit to any of these 16 rooms in a cave, and what we have to do now here is that in any one of the room Wumpus is there. Okay, in one room Wumpus will be there. So if we as a person, what we have to do here is, as a person, we shouldn't enter to this room. Okay, because if we enter to this room where Wumpus will be there, the game finishes over there only. So we have to avoid that room where bumpers will be there. So this bumpers means here, wherever the bumpers will be located in the location, there the adjacent room, for example, if here bumpers will be there, okay, this is bumpers in the room, then adjacent room means here there is a stench smell will be there. Here it is stench smell will be there, here also stench smell will be there, here also stench smell will be there, and here also stench smell will be there. Okay, which is a dirty foul smell will be there, by which a person can come to know that if a person enters to any of this room where stench smell is coming, then the person will come to know that bumpers is there near to this room, adjacent to any of this room. Okay, so this is one condition. Now in this 16 rooms, in some rooms pits will be there, I mean holes will be there. If you enter into that room, you can fall down from that room. I mean you can lose the game if you enter to the room where pits are available. Now how can the person knows that a pit can be there is, for example, in here if pits is there, okay, like a hole you can consider as a hole. In this one, besides to this room, adjacent to these rooms, air will come, breeze will come. Here also breeze will come, here also breeze will come, here also breeze will come, here also breeze will come. So because of this, whenever a person enters to any of this room, the person will come to know that the pit is there which is near to this room, that means adjacent to this room, so that the person can get an alert that we shouldn't enter to this room which is pits. If the person enters over there, then the game it finishes. Also the person shouldn't should not enter to the bumpers, as this bumpers can kill that person. Okay, so this is how the conditions which are there here. Now what is another thing here is that what is the goal of this bumpers world is, the person has to that means among these 16 rooms, in any one of the room gold is there. Okay, so here gold is there, so that person has to enter into that room where the gold is available, and the person has to take that gold from that room and it has to come back to the starting state where the person has been started the game. Remember, in the room where the gold is available, neither bumpers will be there in that room nor any pit will be there in the particular room, in that particular room. But one thing you can there is that in this room you can get stench smell, or else you can get air also, breeze also. I mean, it shows that if stench is there in the room where the gold is available, it shows that the adjacent rooms which are over to this room here, in any of the room, bumpers can be here, or else it can be here, or else it can be here, or else it can be here. If stench smell is there, if it is air is there here in this room, it means that in any one of the room, pit can be here, pit can be here, pit can be here, or else pit can be here. But remember, in the same one room, both will not be there. Okay, neither bumpers will be there nor pit will be there at the same location. Two of them will not be there in the same location. Okay, so these are all what the conditions, or you can say are the prerequisites in order to play the game. So I repeat here, what is there here is that there is a cave, in that 16 rooms are available, and what we have to do here is that in many of the 16 rooms, in one room only, bumpers will be there. So we have to make sure that we shouldn't enter to that room. Okay, how can you identify that Wampus will be there in any of the room? Means besides the room where the Wampus is there, adjacent to the room, a stench smell, a dirty smell will come, which come into the adjacent rooms of the Wampus where the Wampus is located. This is one condition. And the second is that there are some pits are available in some rooms. So the person should not enter to the rooms where the pits are available. Okay, how can the person knows that the pit is available here? That it can be known that the adjacent of the room which is there, besides the pits, air will come, because hole is there, right? So air will come to the adjacent room. So whenever a person enters to such rooms where the air is coming, where the breezes are coming, so the person comes to know that adjacent to that room pit can be there. So this is the second condition. And I said you that in what is the goal here is the person should visit to the room where the gold is available. The person should take that gold and should come back to the original state without entering into the room where the pits is there or where a Wampus is there. So if it performs, then it is a successful, that means the person has successfully performed or played the game. And one more thing here is that whenever gold is there in that room, the room gets shines over there. It glitters over in the room where the gold is available. Okay, so by that also a person comes to know that in this room the gold is available. Okay, and person has just only one arrow in order to kill Wampus. And whenever a Wampus can get killed, the Wampus can create a sound which can be heard in any of these 16 rooms. Okay, but a person can try for killing for only once. It doesn't have an option for killing twice. Only one arrow is available, and only when the person can kill if the person is straight towards the Wampus. Okay, these are what the conditions. So now we are taking this game again. Now what we are doing here is we are taking first 16 rooms. Okay, you can represent them as here 1, 2, 3, 4. Here also 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now the person, for example, this is a person. The person this is a person. What the person has to, the person, and also the action, how the person can move in forward direction, or else the person can move either in left or right. Okay, now in this location the person has two possibilities. That person either can move to this location or either can move towards this location. But what happened here is, the pit is available here. We are taking the pit here. Also we are taking here, and also we will be taking pit here. Okay, so whenever a pit is there means adjacent to this what breeze will come. So here breezes are coming adjacent to this room, and here means here also breeze will come here. Okay, now for example, if I am taking Wampus here, okay, in this location, now adjacent to these rooms, all these are rooms, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 till 16 rooms are there. So if the Wampus is at this location, I mean in this location, then adjacent to these rooms stench smell will come. So here stench smell will come, here also stench smell will come, here and here, only at this two location, right? Here stench is coming, here stench smell is coming. Okay. Now for example, if the gold is here, here also stench will come, okay? Here also stench will come and the gold is in this location. Here in the gold. Now what happens here, initially the person here is in this state. So when it is going toward this location, what happens here is that person will feel the breeze here at this location. Okay, at 1, 2, person feels what? Breeze. Also, when it reaches, so what the person will think that, as you know, breeze means here the pits are available adjacent to. So again it goes back and again it move towards the next location. Yeah, it is 2, 1. Okay. Yes, it is X and Y. Yes, yes, it is 2, 1. Here at this location, person feel breeze. Now here at 1, 2. In this location 1, 2, it smells, it gets stench smell. Now what happened here is, now the person thinks that stench smell is coming, means again it thinks that Wampus is there nearby to this location. Okay. Now what happened here is, again what happened, it goes back to this location. Okay. Now no, it won't go back to this location. Now it will move towards this location and it will check here. Okay. So when it goes to this location at 2, 2, what happens? It won't feel anything. Okay. So one more thing what we can understand here is, by this condition, as when it reaches 2, 1, first at this location breeze is coming, and in this location stench smell is coming. That means what happened here is, when the person has reaches to at this location 2, 1, okay, when it reaches to 2, 1, if for example here if the Wampus will be there, if here Wampus will be there, then the stench smell will come here also, where here also stench smell will come, but the stench smell is not coming in this location. So it thinks that the Wampus is not there in this location. Okay. By this is how the logics which has to be implemented here. See, again I repeat, first what happens, it goes towards 2, 1. Okay. So this is what in this location it visits. So here the breeze will come. Okay. Here breeze will come. Why? Because pit is there. So it will think that pit can be there adjacent to any of this. That means the pit can be here, or else the pit can be here. Okay. So what it will think, that pit can be here or else it can be here. So again it goes back and again it goes to this location 1, 2. But 1, 2 it is getting stench smell. If it is getting stench smell, and what it will come to know by this here is that in this location 2, 2, what happens, neither Wampus is there nor what is there, pit is there. Both of them is not there here. Why? Because how it will come to know, for example, if Wampus will be here, because stench means Wampus can be here or else it can be here. If the Wampus can be here, then if the Wampus can be here, 1 minute. Yeah, if the Wampus can be here at 2, 2 in this location, if Wampus can be there in this location, what happens? The stench will come, the stench smell will come here also, but the stench smell is not coming here at 2 comma 1, only breeze is coming. So because of that, the person knows that here neither Vampas is there nor any pit is there, so the person moves to this location. Okay, so again what happens if I take in the way, same thing I am taking here. Now the person is here. I'm just denoting as P, and Vampas is here, and this is my pits. Here it is pits, here also pits is there, or here also pits is there. This is P indicates for person and this W indicates for Vampas. So what happens as soon as it reaches to this location? Now as I said that here the gold is there, here stench smell will also come, stench because Vampas is there, stench here it will come, here it will come. I'm just, S indicates for stench smell, and pits means here breeze will come, so I'm just indicating B here. So pit mean here B, here B, here B, here B, and here B, also here B as well. Okay, so what happened, there are two options here. The person directly can move to this location and can get gold and directly can come back to the location 1 1. So this is 1 2 3, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 1 2 3, and this is 4. So directly the person can reaches to this location, then the person can perform grab operation and it takes the gold, and after that it can reaches to the original state, the path which it selects, the same path by which it can come back to the original states, that is 1 1 1. Okay, this is 1 1 state. But in worst case, for example, if it is moving to this location, what happens here is when the P moves to this location, as you know, when it moves towards B, so here person feels that breeze is coming, air is coming. That means now the person thinks that pit can be here or else pit can be here. Okay, pit can be here or else pit can be here. So what happens here is, so the person thinks that if after reaching to this location, person thinks that if it moves here, a pit will also come, or else here the pit can be there. So instead again it goes back here to the previous location, it tries for the another option. So when it tries for another option, it receives the gold, and here as it receives the gold, so it can also kill Vampas. Okay, but here when the person reaches to this location, when the person reaches to this location, even the person doesn't knows whether the Vampas is here. No, here he knows that the person will Vampas will not be there, because here stench smell will come. So the person doesn't know whether the Vampas is here or it can be, it can come to know that the Vampas is here only. So it can kill the Vampas with single arrow, and when the Vampas will shout, and that sound will come to all of the 16 rooms, so by that the person will come to know that the Vampas has killed. After killing that Vampas, again it comes back to the original state. How it comes back? So what will be the path it follows? The path it follows is here is like, initially it is in the 1 1 state. Okay, now what happened here is, first it reaches to 2 comma 1 as a state. So after reaching 2 comma 1, again it is going back to the another state. What is that state? 1 comma 2. because here it is feeling pits. So this is the path it follows, 2 comma 1, 1 comma 2, then again it follows 2 comma 2, okay, then after that 2 comma 2, then further it can move directly also. I can take here, if I take directly means 2 comma 3, but I am not taking that, I am taking what is the another one, 3 comma 2. After going to 3 comma 2, again it goes back to where, again it goes back to where, the same path. Where is that, 2 comma 2, and finally it reaches to this state, which is what, 2 comma 3. And the same path again, it and the same path, what happens, it won't, while going back to the original state, what happens, 2 comma 3 directly it goes towards 2 2. In this way again it goes. Now it won't goes to 3 comma 2, it directly goes to where it is, 2 comma 2 means it directly goes, so it avoids in reverse order. So this will avoid, and from here 2 comma 2 again it goes back to what is that, 2 comma 1 also it won't goes, directly it goes to 1 comma 1. That means starting this state, reaching to the goal, that means acquiring the goal, grabbing the goal, and again going back to the original states. So this is how a Wumpus works. Yes. Now we'll see with a slide here. So as I said, Wumpus is what, a computer game here, right? So it's a computer game. So here it explores a cave which consists of room, okay, and a beast. Wumpus means it's a beast, and here some rooms contains pits, okay, and we have to take a heap of gold in one room, and the goal is to collect the gold, and we need to exit the world without being eaten by Wumpus. So this is how the Wumpus see here. As I said you already, that this is what the starting state. So whenever a pit is there here, so a breeze is coming in this location, in this location, in this location, and here also pit means here breeze is also coming, here also breeze is coming, and here pit means here breeze is there, here breeze is there. Okay, if you take this pit, you can go towards this breeze and this breeze. Okay, adjacent to that pit, breeze will come, air will come here, and this is your Wumpus. Okay, and in this Wumpus, the adjacent to the room which are located by Wumpus are the stench smell will come. So here stench will come, here stench smell will come, and here stench smell will come. So in the room where the gold is available, you are getting the smell stench also, and you are getting breeze also. So it indicates that beside this room, and one of the room contain pit and one of the room contain Wumpus. So this is how a start state. Okay, now the same thing, what the performance is, we need to take the gold. Okay, and the environment here is we need to take a room of 16 rooms with 4 by 4 grid, and these are all the rooms, these are all the rules which I said you, the same thing here. Okay, and the sensors, what it works here is, it takes stench is a smell, breeze is an air, glitter, where it happens here, at the room where the gold is available, it glits over there, it bumps, and finally it screams whenever a Wumpus can get killed. What are the actions it can take? The person can take is, the person can move either left turn, right turn, or you can move, the person can move forward in direction. The person also can perform grab in order to grab the gold. The person can release the gold either, or else the person can shoot the wampus. All these are the actions which a person can perform. So this is how the percept it works. Okay, remember the stench smell is there, which are adjacent squares, not diagonally. It means that, for example, here the wampus is there, the stench smell is not coming over here, or neither the smell is not coming over here. It just goes horizontally or vertically. Okay, same thing even applies to pit also. The breeze, wherever it comes, it won't go diagonally, and a glitter where the gold is there. Okay, and all of these things will be performed here. So whenever, if I take any kind of operation, I need to take in the set of group, such as stench is there, breeze, or if only 2 are specified, then the rest of 3 are will be represented as none. And the percepts, what it perceives, what it receives the information. What is the difficulty here is agent doesn't knows, and this is, you can call as partially observable environment. Okay, why this is partially observable environment? Because the person doesn't knows what will be there in the next room, how the things will be there, right? Particularly at that current room only the person knows the situation. That's why it is partially observable environment. Okay, this is actions which I already mentioned just now. And the goal of the wampus, as I said you, that the person has to reach to that room where the gold is available, to take the gold and need to come back without get killed by wampus. What is the main purpose of this wampus world here is, like why I have taken this example for knowledge based agent here is that, if the information, if you have provided in abundant quantity or available information, whatever you have, then the conclusion is guaranteed. This is the very important point here. When the conclusion is guaranteed to be correct, and that too it will be a correct guaranteed conclusion only when the information which you have provided is correct. So that is the reason that this is the fundamental property of logical reasoning. Okay, so that's the reason why the knowledge base is very important. If you don't know the rules and regulations to reach, to come back, then it is very difficult for a person to get to know. That's why the knowledge to be provided by to an agent is very important here. Without that, an agent can't perform the task. So this is how, just an example for that process. Okay, so this is the procedure which I already mentioned, that if the person is in the first location 1 1, okay, now it moves towards 2 1, because I mentioned you that 1 2 3 4. So now the person moved 2 1, but the person at this location, when it enters to this location, what is going to happen here is that, as breeze will come in this location 2 1, okay, in this location, so the person thinks that a pit can be there either here, either here. That's why P question mark is there. That means the person thinks that the pit can be available here or else here, but there is no wampus, because one condition I said, that wherever the wampus is there, the pits will not be there, and wherever the pits will be there, wampus will not be. That means negation of wampus, and there is a possibility that pit can be there either to 3 1 or 2 2. Now what happens here is, again, simply in order to be in a safe state, it goes back and again it reaches to 1 2. But what happens in 1 2 here is that, as you know, at 1 3 wampus is there, so you will get stench smell in 1 2. Now the person thinks that wampus will not be there here. Why I said negation of wampus, why it is there? Because it's because that I already mentioned here in 2 1, as you are getting breeze. So if, for example, if the pit is here, then the wampus will not be there here. So because of that, what happens? Negation of Wampus means neither Wampus will be there nor a pit will be there. So that person will come to know that in 2 2 nothing is there over here. So by that the person comes to know that the Wampus is there at this location. And also the person comes to know that if this is not the place where the pit is there, then the person knows that at 3 1 the pit is available over here. So this is get confirmed, and because of this confirmation now the person moves to this location 2 2. So when it moves to 2 2, because there is no Wampus and there is no pit, so it is okay for that persons to move from 1 2 to 1 comma 2 to 2 comma 2. So when it reaches directly, it can reach to the state where you can directly get an gold by reaching to 2 comma 3. Okay. So in that state it is showing, it's not showing the alternate, but I have said you the worst case as well. So that's why you need to understand here. Understanding is, if you understand this example, then it's very easy for you to frame the answer by your own. So in this way it got that, and the person can kill Wampus and can directly come back to 2 2, 1 2 and again 1 1 in that pattern. So this is how we need to play the game. Okay means safe square. That means the person doesn't have any harm while going to that particular room. Now the thing is that in Wampus, what is there here is that Wampus have fully observable no. Because I said you that if a person is enters into one room, person doesn't know that what is happening in the other room. That's why local perception is only there. That's why it is not fully observable. Why? Because it is partially observable environment. What is that here is? It is partially observable environment. Okay, it is partially observable environment. Now deterministic, can you determine the outcome? Yes, you can determine it, you can reach to that, provided if you given the sufficient amount of information. Episodic means here, is there any sequential level of actions? No, we don't know what can be the next action. We don't know when the person, at next step where the person will enters. There is no specific sequential or predefined set of levels of actions that has to be performed by a person. There is nothing like that information. That's why it is episodic. Episodic is what an environment where you don't have, the person doesn't have any sequential, that means the action should perform, the actions which it performs will not be performed sequentially. That's why you can term this as episodic. The next thing is static. Is there anything static which is there in the Wampus world? Yes, Wampus will not change its room. Remember, if Wampus is there in one room, the Wampus won't change the room. Neither the pits will also move from one room to another room. So the pits and Wampus are the fixed part. That's why it behaves in a static environment as well. Now the discrete. Yes, discrete means here you are getting finite number of steps. Are you getting? Yes, you are getting finite number of steps. That's why Wampus world is behaving as a discrete environment, in a discrete environment. There is no infinite term here because there are 16 rooms already. So ultimately it will be finite number of states it can perform. Now the thing is that, is it a multiple agent or a single agent? No, it's a single agent. Why? Because only single person is entering to that game. Okay, it's not a two-person game, it is a single-person game. That's why it is single-agent environment. So in this way, the Wampus world will be characterized with respect to the environment. Okay, so now what we have discussed in this class, let us just revise for just 1 or 2 minutes more. What we have learned here is we need to understand that why the knowledge-based agents are required. What is the importance of knowledge base in agents? Okay, so through architecture, I have explained you that what is knowledge base, what is inference engine, okay, and what kind of operations it performs, such as it tells, asks, or it performs. So all of these operations are to be performed, and we have seen that architecture of knowledge base agent, that it will be categorized into 3 types. Okay, and I said you about inference engine, that it is not dependent on the domain or on the problem. It is not depend on the problem, rather than it is independent of the problem, but it is depend on the previous instruction. Okay, but it is independent of the domain. Okay, so that's why inference engine in that way, and knowledge base is completely depend on the problem, so that's why it is domain specific. And I said you what is knowledge base, that set of sentences is what collection of sentences you can call as knowledge base, which give you an information that how can you proceed or what actions you can select and how you can perform will be given by knowledge base. So for that we have seen a function over here, and with an example of Wumpers world, that why this knowledge base is very important, because of that kind of information if you provide, then only you can get the desired goal. So the desired goal is something I said you that the conclusion will be guaranteed for such kind of information, because if you provide available information, that too correct available information which is required for the given task. So this point is very important. That's the reason why Wumpers world has been described over here in this lecture. Okay, so with this I'll complete this today's session, and hopefully we'll take the next concept of the continuation of this, okay, in the next session. Thank you.